Hello everyone and welcome to D&Q Football, where today we are talking about the official draw for the African Cup of Nations 2023 qualifiers. We've done the preliminaries, we're on to the proper qualification groups now. 48 teams, 24 of which qualify. They've been split into 12 groups. The top two of each go through. Now there are a few caveats to this. As I switch to this page, you can still see me, and now you can see all the groups that we're going to run through. A few caveats to this. Hopefully you can see my mouse on there as well. Yes, you can. Ivory Coast will be hosting this, Côte d'Ivoire will be hosting this tournament in 2023, and as such, they will qualify regardless. So it's the top two in each group, but in Group H, it will only be one of Zambia, Comoros, Lesotho. It will only be one of those sides because Côte d'Ivoire are already through. Also in Group C, Kenya, and in Group K, Zimbabwe. Now both of these sides are currently suspended from FIFA tournaments. They have a suspension, a ban, they can't play games. If this suspension is not lifted 2 weeks before these games commence, these sets of fixtures commence, then both sides will not compete and both groups will go down to just 3 teams. We'll go down to 3 teams, the top 2 of which will still progress. So it doesn't affect how many teams progress from these groups, but Kenya and Zimbabwe might not be in this qualification. So Group C and Group K could be impacted by this. I'm really looking forward to this one. Really looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be brilliant for the minnows again. I really do think it's going to be brilliant for the minnows again because AFCON is one of the best international tournaments that there is. We know that you've got the World Cup qualifiers in some of these regions. It's tough for the African teams because there's not many places available, only 5 under the current 32 team tournament. There are only 5 places allocated to African sides. Hopefully this changes as part of the new World Cup things with 48 teams. But AFCON is still therefore such an important tournament. We've seen a fantastic tournament in 2021. We followed Gambia in particular. They were breathtaking. There were other sides in there, Sierra Leone, Comoros as well. Equatorial Guinea, of course. Just brilliant sides from this region, and this tournament is so important. So let's run through the groups then. Let's run through it group by group. We've got 12 to get through. It's going to be a very quick canter over this because you can see them all there. I'm not going to run through every team. This is going to be kind of minnow specific. So in Group A, you can see here, you've got Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Guinea-Bissau, and it's actually Sao Tome. I'm not sure why this image that I've got says Sao Tome or Mauritius. I'm 99.9% sure it is Sao Tome, who won 4-3 against Mauritius across the 2 legs. If that's wrong, please someone let me know. I've been trying to do research on this. Not many outlets give too much information on this, but I'm pretty sure it's Sao Tome, who will go into this group as the lowest ranked side in the whole of AFCON qualifiers at 183 in the FIFA World Rankings. To be honest, you know, the rest of this group is going to be really tough for them. Guinea-Bissau, a solid side. Sierra Leone, we saw with Stephen Corker, now captaining the side. Kamara between the sticks as well, great goalkeeper. I think that Sierra Leone will eye out this group as one that they will look to get out second. You know, they, as you can see there, that's probably how they'll expect the group to go. Nigeria winning it, with Sierra Leone wishing to sneak through in second, but Guinea-Bissau are in a good spot as well. Sao Tome, they'll just need to put up a good fight against all these teams. Excuse me. Group B, very interesting group here. Very interesting group because I think, you know, I picked Eswatini as my team to cause upsets and maybe be the new kind of Gambia or the new Madagascar and get to the latter stages of the actual AFCON itself. I'm not going to double back on that, but that's going to be even tougher now because this is a tough group. You've got good sides there. Togo are, you know, 1-2-1 in the world rankings. They are a beatable side if Eswatini perform well. Eswatini 1-4-3 in the FIFA World Rankings. But Cape Verde and Burkina Faso are really good sides, and they'll be looking at this, both of them. They'll look to get a couple of draws out of each other and beat the other side. So I hope that this becomes a competitive group. Anything can happen in AFCON qualifying, but this is now going to be really tough for Eswatini and Togo to get out of. Group C, Cameroon, winners last time out, they'll expect to win this group. Kenya, as we've said already, might be suspended from this tournament. If they are, that gives Namibia and Burundi a really good chance to get in AFCON. They'll probably be hoping Kenya are suspended. I know that sounds terrible, but wouldn't it be great for a side like Namibia? Well, actually, you know, looking at the FIFA World Rankings, even for Burundi, 139 currently in the World Rankings, they got some good players, for sure. Saido Berahino, for example. Not sure if Gael Barugimana still plays for them. But they've got good players, talented players, and if Kenya are removed from this, they will fancy themselves. What a great opportunity it would be. I don't think a better opportunity would come along, because it really would then be a head-to-head against Namibia, because Cameroon will probably beat both as to who progresses. Egypt haven't got the easiest group in the world, because, again, it's similar to Group B in as much as Guinea are a very, very good side, and Egypt and Guinea will probably battle out for top spot. You've got Malawi and Ethiopia in there, both of which are actually decent sides. Malawi 120 and Ethiopia 140 in FIFA World Rankings, but Ethiopia have shown recently that they've got a bit about them. They're not bad teams. They'll try and make this group as competitive as possible. There'll be tough games for Egypt in this, as they come up against defensive teams and just have to try and break it down. Their key players will be important for Egypt. They'll want to get through this group as quickly as possible. They want to come out of the traps and win their early games, so they go through. We saw a lot of teams not make it to AFCON that potentially you'd have thought should make it to AFCON last time. So, you know, Egypt won't be taking this one easy. They won't be taking this one easy. Of course, not involved in World Cup stuff either now, so they'll really have their sights set on this one. Group E, well, we see Central African Republic. It's good to see them back in these qualifiers. I feel like we've not seen Central for such a long time now. You've got Ghana in there, a good side, but a beatable side, as we saw at AFCON. They didn't perform very well at all. Madagascar, of course, the heroes of 2019, and then Angola and Central African Republic. I hope that this is a competitive group. I think it will be. Madagascar are a good side. They got Anisette, for example, key player for them. They have lots of names. I'm sorry, I would absolutely butcher if I try and pronounce them, but they are a really, really good side. So I expect Group E to be competitive. I think Group F will be less competitive, particularly for Algeria. It's a good opportunity, I'd say, for 130 ranked Tanzania. Niger and Uganda, good sides, but beatable sides on their day from a Tanzania perspective. And Tanzania have got good players as well. Mbwana Samata, for example. Again, I think for all of these sides, it's a goal difference plays a little bit of a part in Group F, because if you can avoid a heavy defeat to Algeria, you put yourself in a good position. You know, you really would only have to pick up a couple of wins and a couple of draws against the other sides, and you'd be looking to progress out of Group F. So the good thing about Group F here, similar with Group A, is one of these smaller nations, footballing nations, will get there. You know, Sierra Leone, Guinea-Bissau or Sao Tome, and Uganda, Niger, Tanzania. One of them will get there, which is absolutely fantastic. For me, the best group is Group G. You've got Mali, good side, best kits in the world. In fact, you can tell I didn't plan this, but look at this. This is the Mali kit, the absolutely stunning Mali kit. It's a gorgeous one, and they're a good side, and they'll be looking to, you know, their highest ranked, highest seeded side in this. They'll be looking to win that group. But this is an interesting one. You've got two sides who won their preliminary round games. Gambia, who should have never really been involved with it, given their AFCON 2021 success, but scraped past Chad. Dubious handball decision. They put it away and they did win. The Gambia are in there with South Sudan as well, one of the lowest ranked sides, still in the tournament at 1-6-1, who beat Djibouti in the preliminary draw. They'll both be eyeing up Congo as a side that they can compete with. Similarly, I don't think they'll be afraid of Mali either. I do expect Mali to win this group. If I'm honest, Mali have got some good players, and they've got enough games to just not ease through, but the points difference at the end, I think with playing each team twice will make a big difference. Gambia will be looking to get through, obviously 1, 2, 3 in the FIFA World Rankings now. Because the draw is done kind of pre the latest rankings, they were in that pot 3. But they will expect to get some good results. I think Gambia, again, if they get it right, they could be back at AFCON, which would be absolutely fantastic. Congo, on paper, the hardest game for them, and fair play to South Sudan. We just want to see a good tournament from them. Group H is a real tough one. Ivory Coast could, you know, lose every game and still get there, so it is it is tough for them. It's a shootout between the other three sides, and it's going to be tough for Comoros to repeat the heroics of AFCON 2021. Of course, with the outfielder having to go in goal and all the disaster there, but they were breathtaking. Umchangama was stunning, that free kick, incredible. Lesotho, a good side, but they did scrape past the Seychelles. The Seychelles did really, really well in the preliminary round. I think that it'll be tough for Lesotho to progress past this stage. I think it's a shootout between these two, Zambia and Comoros, given that only one of these sides goes through because the Ivory Coast are hosting. Because of the way that it is, unfortunately, Ivory Coast are still involved in the qualification, even though they're through. It's just it's kind of an awkward one, but I suppose it's the best way that they could do it. It's a shame, really. It should almost have been that. I don't know. I'm trying to think about a different way of doing it. You know, because Kenya and Zimbabwe might drop out. I think they've done it in the best way that they can, to be honest. Group I, an interesting one. The Democratic Republic of the Congo haven't been doing as well as they should of late. Gabon, the same. You can say the same. Both of these sides not doing as well as they should. And Mauritania and Sudan. Sudan haven't performed that well recently either. The Arab Cup, they were poor. They've not been great, but they have got good players, so if they do step it up, they can maybe progress. And Mauritania, of course, we saw at AFCON with the likes of Kamara up front now as well. They'll have a chance in this. Mauritania will fancy themselves in this group. They'll eye up DR Congo and Gabon as sides that are kind of maybe over the crest of a wave and maybe just dipping down a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how much Aubameyang can be involved in this tournament and how important he is in these games. But again, it's a little bit of a top two, bottom two, similar to we see in Group B. But I do think that these bottom two, Mauritania and Sudan, can cause more problems, perhaps, in this group with the recent form of DR Congo and Gabon. Well, Group J, it's incredible to have Botswana in it. It's tough for them. They haven't played a game yet. Eritrea, who they were due to play, of course, pulled out. So Tunisia are a great side. And of course, Equatorial Guinea, no strangers against Tunisia, given their recent games against them. In World Cup qualification, I do believe they've performed very well. Equatorial Guinea, of course, were at AFCON and performed incredibly well. Geezer with the pink hair on fine form. But it's going to be a real tough one. I do think it's another one, though. Tunisia will go through, and then one of the other sides that goes through will be an incredibly passionate team. This is why I love AFCON. This is why I love AFCON qualifiers. I do think it could be Equatorial Guinea again, and that would be phenomenal if they get to back-to-back tournaments. But it is a chance for Botswana and Libya to get to AFCON. A great group, this one. Unlike Group K, which is going to probably just be dominated by Morocco. And then there's a battle, I'd imagine, between South Africa and Zimbabwe. The Bafana haven't been doing as well recently as perhaps they would have liked. I do expect them to come back and qualify for AFCON this time, though. I am going to sort of put myself out there and say I expect South Africa to qualify from this group. But don't underestimate Zimbabwe or Liberia either, who will try and make this one tough for them. Of course, if Zimbabwe are removed due to the ban from FIFA, then it will be a shootout, I'd imagine, between South Africa and Liberia. Morocco will look to win this group, and I'd be surprised if they don't look to kind of win this whole AFCON and really kind of progress now. They're getting better and better, Morocco, as an international football side. The likes of Hakimi, Ziyech, who of course wasn't part of it last time. They've got great players, so it'll be interesting to see what they can do this tournament. And Group L, the final group, we've really rattled through this. I think we're only at about 12 and a half minutes or so in this video now. And there's 12 groups, so I really am trying to rattle through it, just kind of give a little bit of an insight to those minnow nations. In Group L, we'll see Senegal, the best side in Africa. You know, it's as simple as that, really. Did I say that Cameroon... Did Cameroon win AFCON? I'm getting all confused now. Senegal... Cameroon hosted the last AFCON. Senegal won it. I believe I said earlier that Cameroon won the last AFCON. That is not correct. Senegal won AFCON. Cameroon hosted the last AFCON. So apologies for that mistake. I may have made it earlier. I think I did say that. Benin, Mozambique and Rwanda are also in this one. Rwanda, the side really to look out for at 136 in the world rankings. Mozambique, just checking my notes down there, at 119. They'll both be looking to compete and get out of this group. Benin are quite a passionate side, but they're just a good team. So I'd love to see something from Rwanda or Mozambique to get to AFCON. Mozambique, of course, with an interesting flag, given that it has firearms on it, which is a bit of a strange one. But yeah, absolutely fantastic AFCON groups. 12 groups there. 2 goes through from each. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. I think I said Cameroon won AFCON. That was incorrect, so I do sincerely apologise for that. Senegal, of course, won it, and they're a great side, the best side in Africa, I'd certainly say as well. That is all. It's not a preview. This is just a run through of the groups and who I think is going to progress, and kind of from the Minnow Nation standpoint, who we can look to hopefully see progress in this tournament. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you're from one of these countries, do drop a comment. Do you think your side can get out of these groups? If you enjoyed the video, hit like, hit subscribe. This has been DNQ Football, and of course, as ever, we will see you next time.